Hi guys, Ruth Delgado and Ruth Delgado's Glamour page here. Welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. Truth Tribe, those of you who are already subscribed. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you press that subscribe button either now or definitely after you see this video and you recognize, oh, she's got some gems that I'd like to keep up with. Excuse my hair. What I'm about to be doing in this video is I'm about to be doing my hair and having a little chat with you guys. Y'all know how I do sometimes, so that's what this video is going to be about. Y'all, I have been constantly being attacked every time I try to upload on YouTube. I have noticed on a consistent basis over time that I keep getting attacked. Like just today, right before I got dressed to do this video, I was feeling good. I was feeling fine, no problems, no issues. But as soon as I started to get dressed, knowing that I was about to get ready to do this video, I started to get lightheaded, yo. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, I started to get lightheaded. And like my head really started to hurt me. Like I started to feel like if I ain't sit down, like I probably would have passed out or something. And it's not the first time it happened. Like it's been happening like quite a bit. Whenever I get, to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna keep BSing. I'm gonna go ahead and get this video done. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. As soon as I get in that mode, that's how I know it's the devil. Then something start bothering me. My head started hurting. My stomach starts to hurt, or it's always something. And it's like, wow, the devil really don't want me to do this. But you know what? Of course the devil don't want you to get better. Of course the devil don't want you to improve over time and like literally take control back over your life. Of course the devil don't want that. So it does pretty much make sense that that's why I'm going through what I'm going through, because Satan doesn't ever want you to live better, do better, get better, improve yourself, improve your life, So I had to share that with y'all because I was like, wow, it's really crazy to me, because even in the last like 3 to 4 yoga dance videos, same thing. I've been getting like very tired early or getting lightheaded and not able to like continue to keep moving around and stuff. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not letting that stop me then. What I'm gonna do is I might slow down a little bit, because if my health ain't right, you don't want to keep going if your health ain't good. Check my health, make sure my health is good, my health be alright, and then I recognize, all right, let me just pray, because I recognize that obviously that must be, the enemy trying to prevent me from, progressing in my life the way that I need to. Because the devil gets mad when the devil see that despite whatever circumstances he throws your way, you still gonna win. When the devil notices that, the devil then starts throwing everything at you. And then he get reckless. But then you got to get reckless too and make sure that everything you throw at you, you combat it. You make sure you knock it out. You make sure, you make God proud of you because of how you respond to trauma and the BS that the devil drop on you. I had to share that with y'all. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is actually about me talking about how people a lot of times will block themselves from everybody. Like literally, okay, for instance, I'm gonna use myself as an example. If you're already part of the Truth Tribe, then you already know one of my best moves is to use myself as an example, because I know myself better than anybody else. So being as though like when you know yourself better than anybody else, you basically you make sure that, you know, you put yourself in certain equations or situations that you want to talk about to like describe circumstances and stuff like that, because you know you might not know everybody else's situation, but you know your own situation. And when it comes down to me, I've recognized within myself and my own experiences that, yeah, a lot of times when I get hurt, when I get disrespected, when I feel like, you know, people not appreciating me that should, I do. I start to get like this feeling where I'm like, you know what? I'm not effing with nobody. I don't care about nobody. I don't want to be cool with nobody. Like, I want to just shut myself off from literally everybody. Okay? And it's been a number of times that I have done that. I've literally shut myself down from everybody a few times. And I've recognized from doing that and from watching other people do that, that that's not the thing to do. It's not. Why do I figure that? Because here's the thing. Do I get it that when you've been hurt a number of times, when you've been disrespected, disregarded, especially by people that you would have never thought that would have did that to you, I do get how it can make you a disbeliever. It can make you a disbeliever within even within yourself, because you start to believe within yourself that maybe you don't even have good discernment, or maybe you don't even know how to decipher who's good and who's not, because if you didn't read these people right, then you probably reading everybody else wrong. So I get it. You know, your mind play tricks on you, and that's why it's messed up when people do you dirty, because they put you in a position to make your mind play tricks on you and make you start to not believe in yourself, when initially, before you went through all of that, you believed in yourself heavily. But now that you done been through all these traumas, all these situations, all these people letting you down, all these people disrespecting you, disregarding you, trying to make you feel like how you feel doesn't matter, it affects you. I get it. But I also get that you can stand in your own way by allowing your mentality to start to fight in a not so smart way, by blocking everybody that has the capability of being something good, something positive, and something beautiful in your life. What I mean by that is, I've had a lot of situations where I've been hurt, right? And I'm going to use as an example my best friend. I have a best friend, and her name is May. And she and our relationship from the beginning, like, we met when we were like 12, 11, 12. And from the beginning, when we first met, we clicked. We became real cool. But over time, life experiences, distance, and all kinds of stuff kind of made our relationship kind of flicked, kind of up and down. And initially, at first, when our relationship started to have the up and downs, I really didn't read into it. I really didn't care. You know, she wasn't the only friend that I felt like I was losing at that time. So that I think that's one of the times that I felt like, you know what, forget everybody, fuck everybody. Excuse my mouth, but forget everybody, because you know, they didn't care about me before they hurt my feelings. They didn't care about me before they disrespected me. So I'm not caring about them, type thing. You know, it's the type of energy that I had at the time, because the pain was so, like, first of all, heavy, and then the pain was so fresh at the time. So, you know, it's like, you know, I had been through so much stuff with so many different people using me and taking advantage of me. And I was young at the time. I wasn't even grown yet. So being as though I was going through losing friends that I had thought that was going to stick through life with me. You know, when you're young, you don't really recognize that, you know, everybody ain't going to stick around that you think is going to stick around. You don't know that yet. You know what I'm saying? So I was going through some things at that time. So that was literally one of the times that I literally did not take my own advice that I'm giving you guys now in this video. And I just kind of shut down on everybody, because I was just like, I was going through so much. That's why I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? People be going through so much. You can have so many life issues, complications, problems, issues with relationships with people that you really care about, you really love, and you trying to make sure, like, you don't want to mess up your relationships. You don't want to, damage any type of connections that you have. But you also don't want to damage yourself trying to connect with these people. You don't want to hurt yourself trying to, have relationships. So taking all of these things into consideration, I was going through a bit of a up and down with my emotions when my girlfriend, my best friend May, and I were having our complications with our friendships, and it was a lot of distance created between us. What ended up initially happened, because how I first met her, my mom had a school. If you already part of the Truth Tribe, you already know my mom had a school. And when my mom had her school, she had her own students and everything, and my girlfriend May was one of my mother's students. So that's how we became cool, because she went to my mom's school. And she went to the school for like a couple of years, but then she ended up going to another school by the time we got to high school. So I think it was like middle school and junior high school that May and I was in school together for. And then after that, we like separated throughout the entire amount of time that we were in high school, like from 9th grade all the way to like 12th grade. And I think that we ended up getting back in contact with each other like after like, I think like the 3rd year of college or something like that. But even when we connected then, we was kind of still a little distant because we hadn't been around each other for a while. So we didn't know each other that well at that time because we had that distance. But we got to the point over the years, of building our friendship back up, building up our connection again. We haven't had the best friendship. We've had some complications and some issues along the way. But we've always had that respect for each other. So I feel like that's why our friendship has lasted this long. Whereas, we're 34 now and we're still friends. And literally at this moment right now, that's the only friend that I've had since I was a child that I still am friends with. And I understand, even through my process of my friendship with her, that, man, if I would have gone off of my experiences that I was going through at the time when me and my girlfriend was having issues, then I wouldn't have a best friend right now, But I saw that, sometimes in some relationships, even healthy relationships, you might have problems, you might have issues, you might have complications. Because yes, this person is human, just like you are. Y'all both human, so y'all gonna make mistakes. Y'all gonna possibly disappoint each other at some point or another. Because this is life. And in life, shit happens. Excuse my mouth, but things happen. So sometimes things happen that you at least expect or least want to happen. But regardless, it's occurring and it's happening. So as a human being, especially an adult, you got to learn how to roll with the punches. Like, whatever happens, find out, okay, how to accommodate yourself on that and still keep moving and flowing regardless of the circumstances. Because that's what makes you more powerful, when you can keep rolling and keep moving regardless of what's going on around you. And still allowing yourself to still be able to maintain friendships, maintain, any relationship that you value, that you feel like it's important, that you feel like you would like to last throughout life. So I said all that to say that when you have friendships, relationships, loved ones, whatever you might call the person, who, things might not be perfect with that person. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is not always going to be perfect with people. But if majority of things with that person is pretty daggone good, and you can honestly say, I can't complain about this person's really been good to me, then you need to recognize that, you need to not block that person out. I had to recognize not to block May out, because even though we had our complications, our little issues from time to time, those issues were small. Those issues were not big. Those issues were not disruptive or disrespectful to the point where I felt like we could never be friends again. You know what I'm saying? Some people do some stuff where you feel like, okay, there's no coming back from that, you know? But fortunately, in May and I's relationship and friendship, thank God, even though we've had complications and issues, we've never had anything that was that bad to the point where it was like, okay, there's no coming back, you know? And I believe that's genuinely why we're still friends. And I also understand that, you know, with other people that are potential friends, potential future lovers, or whatever the circumstances may be, you have to understand sometimes that that person might not be perfectly what you want. But if you can write down, like I've done it a number of times, I've written down, like if I'm wondering if the person that I'm with, you know, is a better fit for me, or if I'm trying to find out if they're a better fit for me, I'll get 2 pieces of paper. I won't put them on the same paper because you'll sometimes probably confuse yourself. So I'll get 2 pieces of paper and I'll write on one piece of paper, I'll put on the heading, things that I don't like about this person. And I'll make a list. And I'll keep writing until I can't write anything else. And then I'll make a list on things that I do like about this person. And I'll keep writing until I can't write anymore. And when I look at those 2 different papers and see how much I like, how much I don't like, whatever weighs more is what wins. If I like more stuff about this person than I don't like about this person, then that lets me know, oh, okay, well, they're a winner then, they're a keeper. Because there's more reasons for me to keep this person in my life than to not, okay? But if the opposite happens and I'm writing what I like about this person and what I don't like about this person, and it's heavier on the I don't like side, then I know, okay, the time that I'm spending with this person is definitely going to be limited because I clearly see it's way too many things that I don't like and that I'm not comfortable with and I'm not happy with. So therefore, I have to make some changes, because if I don't make any changes, then those things that I'm not happy with, I'm still going to end up not happy with them years down the line. And then I'm going to end up more mad at myself if I didn't walk away when I recognized what I wasn't happy with before and I stayed longer. Because that's what a lot of times people do. They get mad at themselves when they recognize, yo, I spent 20, 30, 40 years with this person. And I didn't have more things that I liked about this person than I didn't like. So I kind of wasted my time. You don't want to do that. Because life is too precious. Life's moments, life's, experiences, it's too precious to be wasting it on the wrong people. Because you're not even able to have your experiences that you're supposed to have. You're not able to meet the people that you're supposed to meet if you are limiting yourself, limiting your space, limiting, how much energy you'll give to other people. If you're limiting that extremely and not giving nobody a chance and shutting everybody out and shutting everybody down because you're so much hurt and you're so much in pain, literally, let me tell you something, my friend, my truth tribe, you are going to hurt yourself. Believe me or not, when you shut yourself down so completely, where you are shutting everybody out, you are going to shut out your soul tribe. You're going to shut out your twin flame. You're going to shut out your soulmate. You're going to shut out your future wife and your future husband. You're literally going to shut out everybody that can benefit you just as well as you're possibly shutting out people that can hurt you. And I've learned from my own experiences that you don't want to do that to yourself, because you hurt yourself when you do that. Either you end up hurting yourself by allowing people to constantly hurt you and you see what they're doing, but you don't want to walk away, or you end up hurting yourself by sticking around too long and not allowing yourself to be sociable and to meet new people that might be better for you and that might be more productive for you, that might help you to be able to live a more lucrative life, a free life that makes you not feel tied down. but you wouldn't even know the satisfactory of being able to have that, benefit or those liberties of those type of people in your life because you shut them all out. And I honestly know in my soul, like I seen this video today. I can't show you guys because I'm recording this on my phone, so I can't bring it up on my phone. But I seen this video today of T.I. having an interview with some guy, and I guess he's saying a saying that somebody else said, where he says something to the effect of, would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the rest of the world, or would you rather be at war with the world? At war with the world. Hold on. Let me not mix it up. Would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the rest of the world, or at war with yourself and at peace with the rest of the world? And I honestly had to say, honestly, it's not that cut and dry. Because you can say, oh, okay, I want to be at peace with myself and at war with the rest of the world, but then you want to have a career, you want to be an entrepreneur, you have multiple different businesses that you would like for people to support, and you have a platform that you would like people to witness you discussing things that's on your mind, and you can't find no support because don't nobody mess with you, don't nobody like you. How's that gonna work? Mind you, you at peace with yourself, right? You done figured out how to make sure that you would rather fight with the rest of the world as opposed to yourself. Granted, that's not a bad idea, but what might be a bad idea is you being at war with the rest of the world and you trying to create something of yourself and you can't find no support because now the rest of the world hates you. What you gonna do then? Because you're not gonna be able to get that support if people don't like you. Now, I'm not trying to say you have to live life trying to make people like you. Don't give a hoot whether nobody like you. Let me be the one to tell you, don't give a hoot. But you do have to make sure that you put yourself in positions to be respected and to be loved and appreciated by everyone. Everybody don't gotta like you. But if you live showing that I deserve respect, I respect myself, and I love myself, so therefore I am not going to take any disrespect, disregard, or not love from somebody else when I know I'm giving it to myself. That's the kind of attitude you have to have. Now, mind you, I get it. It's kind of complicated, but you have to use your experiences to kind of make things a lot clearer for you. It's complicated because it's like, once you have bad experiences and stuff, especially with people that you thought was good people, you have to pay attention to those experiences. You have to pay attention. What's the red flags that you ignored in those people purposefully because you like them that much? Because that be what it be. It be that you like this person so much. You saw the red flags. You saw them flashing. You saw them waving the flag and everything. But because you love this person so much, because you like this person so much, because you so into this person, you chose to ignore that red flag. But you don't want to tell yourself that you chose to ignore it, because then you would have to reprimand yourself from doing that in the first place. But that's what a lot of times we end up doing as people. We decide that we want this person so bad that whatever red lights, red flags, or stop signs subconsciously that we come across, spiritually that we come across with this person, we ignore it. Because we sit there and think to ourselves, oh, I really like them though. Oh, I really think that they're a good person. Oh, they're a sweetheart. Oh, they're this, they're that. They could be a sweetheart. They could be a good person. They could be all that. But they also can have an ulterior motive that you don't know nothing about. They also could have a subconscious hate for you that you don't know nothing about, that ends up coming years down the line. And you sitting there thinking, oh, I thought you loved me. I thought you really, what happened? That's why you got to pay attention to those signs. Pay attention to those experiences that you have with people When you recognize that, oh man, I was friends with this person for years, and all this time this person didn't even like me. All this time this person was just waiting for the next person to tell them something bad about me so they could believe it, whether it was truth or not. You got to remember those time frames. You got to remember how those people were. You got to remember what those red flags was that you forced yourself to ignore because you liked them so much, because you wanted them in your life. You got to remember that stuff. Because when you remember it, then you know what to look out for when somebody else try you. Then you know how to check a motherfucker, excuse my language, but you know how to check somebody when they think they gonna run that game on you again. Then you be like, I'm gonna read you right now because I already know who you are and I know how you are because I dealt with a person like you before. And they're gonna be shocked and shook because they're gonna be looking at you like, you don't know me. Yes, I do. You just don't know that I know you because I dealt with another person like you before. I know this energy. I know this bull crap you feeding me. I tasted that before. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta get into that mode where you recognize people. You recognize, oh, you on some BS. You ain't real. You ain't thorough. Oh, what you say don't align with what you did. That's not a real one. If this person is constantly saying a whole lot of nothing, and you like, wait a minute, there's no value behind what you talking about. There's no, like life story where you can learn something from this. This person just talking a whole bunch of BS, then you know, like, all right, you're not for me. Because you're not even talking anything of substance. You're not talking anything to make me think. You're not talking nothing to make me really, think to myself like, oh, wait a minute, let me broaden my horizons. Let me broaden my mind. Let me start thinking more than I'm speaking. Let me start making sure that what I'm saying out my mouth makes sense. Let me make sure that what I'm actually putting out is aligning with what I'm speaking. Because there's a lot of people that speak a whole lot, but their actions don't align with what they're saying. And then they want to know why you don't believe them. Sir, ma'am, your actions are not aligning with what you're telling me. And I'm not going to act like Boo Boo the fool, like I don't see what you doing. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But I'm right, who can't hear? I'm trying to think of a famous person that can't hear. Can't think of nobody right now. But I'm a person that is going to act like I can't hear you when it comes to the spirituality. Because I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what's coming out your mouth. Because you can say anything. You can lie all day. But I know what ain't going to be the lie is your consistent actions, your behavior. That's what's going to tell me the truth. That's going to tell me who you really are. You want to know who a person really is? Get to know who they really are. Talk to them. Interact with them on a day-to-day basis, regularly. That's how you really find out who you really dealing with. So, moral of the story for this video is, yes, you can be very careful with how you interact with people. Yes, you can definitely block yourself from people that are not good for your energy, that's not good for your spirit, that's not good for your progress. But don't block the right people. Don't block the right energy. Don't block people that can actually help you grow. Don't block people's energy that can actually help you mature. You could tell that this person is literally making you a better human being, you don't block that person. You open up to them because you recognize, you know what? You are part of my tribe. You my people. If that person is literally bringing out the best in you without even trying, then that's how you can recognize that's your tribe. When this person is bringing out the best in you and you like, damn, I ain't never been with nobody like this that's literally pulling it out of me. That's how you know this is somebody that's valuable. That's number one. There's value in that. It's somebody that's valuable. because they're bringing out the best in you. And they're, they can take a lot. They got something to them. They got some heavyweight to them. They're not like the wind. The wind blow one way, they go that way. The wind blow another direction, they go in that direction. They not like that. They got some heftiness to them. So anybody try to come speak some foolishness in their ear about you or something, trying to turn them against you, it ain't gonna work, because they solid. When they got some heftiness to them, they solid. It ain't gonna be nobody that's gonna ever be able to come to them and talk to them about you, because they solid. When a solid person is in your midst, they're not gonna believe just anything that they told. They'll listen, because they ain't gonna be stupid. They're gonna take regard to what's being said, but they always gonna use their wisdom and make the analogy and understand, okay, this person is not really believable, or wait a minute, what they saying is actually matching up what they doing. So, you know what? I might need to pay attention to them. Make sure you recognize that, because we have been looking for value in looks. We have been looking for value in clothing and what a person has, but we forgot to look for the value of the person's inside. What do they mind do? What do they think about on a day-to-day basis? Are they encouraging? Are they inspiring? Are they a person that gives you life? Because you got people out here that give you death, and you got people out here that give you life. And I'm not talking about people that'll kill you, giving you death. I'm talking about people that when they speak in things out of their mouth that either promotes change or promotes growth. And isn't change and growth a part of life? So those people that promote change and promote growth, they give you life. They give you a new perspective in life. Sometimes they help you see a different direction in life. They important. They the salt of the earth. That's what the Bible calls people like that, the salt of the earth. Because they the ones that give you hope in a world full of evil people that make you feel like the world hopeless. That's how you know the difference. Then a person that's a total opposite is going to give you death. They're going to have negativity and no progress in anything that they say. Anything that they say, there's no progress. There's no inspiration. There's no goodness. There's no validity. There's no light in what they're speaking. There's nothing but darkness. That's how you know the difference. And I'm telling y'all this because honestly, I'm kind of teaching myself at the same time. Because sometimes you got to remind yourself, after you done experienced certain things and you done witnessed certain things, and then some years have gone by, some months have gone by, sometimes you forget. You got to remind yourself sometimes. So I'm using these videos that I create to talk to you guys, to not only help you guys with whatever complications and issues y'all might be having in life, excuse me, y'all, but to also help myself and remind myself of what I remember and what I know that I have learned in my life as well. Because sometimes as a human being, you may forget. You might. It happens. It's okay. But that's why you be around people that remind you, and you remind yourself what you're capable of. You remind yourself how, man, I've been through way more than this before, and I've been got out of it. So if I can get out of that, I can get out of this. I've, been hurt by a lot of people in my life. So if I can get hurt by a lot of people in my life and get through that, I can be blessed by a lot of people in my life and get through that as well. So y'all, my advice to anybody that's watching this video, if you feel like in life you've been very unlucky in friendships, you've been not so lucky in relationships, you've been very hurt by people that you trusted the most, that you felt like would never do you dirty, that would never do you wrong, my advice to you is do the best that you can. If you haven't already been trying to, Do the best that you can from here on out to recognize and remember every complication and issue that you've ever had with people. Recognize and remember when you had issues where a person did you dirty and did you wrong and had no problem with walking away from you after they used you. Remember that. Remember those experiences that you've had. One thing about me, I do promote positivity constantly. But one thing I also do, I can't run away from the negative. Because here's the thing, when you try to run away from the negative, you'll never find that balance. You have to acknowledge both. But you can't stay in the negative. You have to acknowledge the negative, acknowledge the positive, and find a way to create and make a positive out of a negative. It's like pictures. Life is like pictures. Remember before we even had social media, Facebook and Instagram, how you had to go get your pictures developed? And you had the positive and you had the negative pictures. The negatives they threw out because they didn't come out well. The positives is the one that, you ended up printing out. So do the same thing with your relationships and your friendship. Separate. Is this person, a positive person, but also knows how to recognize negativity and change it into positives? That's the people you keep. If this person is negative, but that's all they are, they have not learned how to turn their turn their negative into a positive and change their, circumstance, change their story, change their situation. That's not the person you want to connect to. That's not the person that you want to keep in your life. That's not the person you want to stay in a bond with. Because that person's going to keep you down. They're going to drag you down. And they're going to try to disrespect and disregard anything that you try to put your heart to and your mind to. Because they're going to be jealous on the level. Because they're always going to hate the fact that you're capable of doing something they can't do. A person not ever going to be able to really enjoy watching you do something that they feel like they can't do or that they have some type of jealousy for. They're going to always have some kind of underhanded or underlining foolishness that's going to end up coming up later. You always notice some people that's jealous of you and that hate you and stuff. You don't never really find it out. You don't really never usually find that out immediately. You always usually find that out over time. You find out a person jealous of you, they don't like you for no reason. You ain't never did nothing to them, none of that. But you find out they don't like you, they never liked you. They never was really into you. They was faking the funk like they really was into you. You find that out later. But to protect yourself from ever having to deal with any more situations like that, but also not blocking yourself from good people, make sure that you remember the red flags and the negativity that you ignored before with people that made you have to deal with circumstances you didn't want to have to deal with, made you have to be hurt and, disrespected and disregarded and treated like your feelings didn't matter. Those kind of people, remember what they did. Remember how they did you. Because that's why you experienced that experience. You didn't experience that experience to get beat down into the ground. You experienced that experience so that you can recognize what to look out for, so that you never end up having to go through that again. That's why we have bad experiences, y'all. We don't have bad experiences just to make us just feel torture for the rest of our lives. We have those bad experiences because God wants us to know this is what you got to look out for. If you don't want bad friendships, this is what you got to look out for. You got to make sure there's not people like this, that, and the third around you that you've experienced before. Make sure you're not around people like that if you don't want to experience that. It's that simple. But sometimes things are so simple that it do be seeming like it's harder than it really is. So, girl, I'm hoping that I wasn't too far all over the place and I really conducted this video very well for you guys to really understand where I'm coming from. Sorry, guys, y'all didn't get to actually see the finishing products of my hair because most of the time I was talking and I was doing the best that I can to really focus on what I was saying and not get lost. So that's why I had to stop a few times. But I hope that you guys really, got the message and really understood what I was saying, because I really do feel like, y'all, we block ourselves from love, true love, real love, from somebody that can probably really do life with us. We block ourselves from that when we start to get angry and upset because of other people that we've too effortlessly let in our lives who ended up hurting us, because that's what ends up happening. You effortlessly let the person in your life that hurt you, but then the person that's not going to hurt you, you give a hard time to. Can we stop doing that? And I'm speaking to myself too. The person that's good to you, stop making it hard for them, okay? The person that's bad to you, you make it hard for that one. Don't make it hard for the people that's good to you, that don't make it hard on you. Make it hard on the people that's bad to you, that don't got your best interest at heart. Make it hard on them, because they the ones that deserve for it to be hard. The people that's not hard on you, the people that don't make it worse for you, the people that's trying to make it better for you, you make it better for them. That's how you create that balance with each other. You making it easier for me, I'm gonna make it easier for you. You making it harder for me, guess what, babe? It's about to get harder than Chinese arithmetics around here. That's how you gotta move. Move the way people moving with you. Somebody moving real slow with you, start baby stepping, babe. They rushing it along. Now, mind you, I will say this. If a person is rushing things along, especially like relationships and stuff like that, be wary of that, okay? Be mindful of that. Because sometimes when people try to rush relationships and stuff like that, that's because they know they don't deserve you. And they trying to force you to make a decision to go ahead and be with them, even though they know they don't deserve you, so they can hurry up and hurt you real quick before you recognize who they really are. So you got to be wary of people that's trying to rush you and trying to be too quick with stuff. But people that's slowing things down, that's usually a good sign. Because when a person is slowing things down, that means they don't want to mess up. But when you rushing things, you don't care about messing up. That's a problem. But when you slowing down, you don't want to mess up, that's a good sign. That means that person cares. Even though they might not act like they care. Because there's some people that really, let me tell you, some people out here that really act like they don't give a hoot, and they actually do. Believe it or not, I've come to recognize it's a lot of people in the world that you might think from their actions that they do not care, but they do. But they have learned in this crazy world, you can't always let people know how you really feel. You can't. Because once you do that, you let people in. And then once you let the wrong person in, you end up regretting it almost immediately. Let me be the one to tell you, because I've experienced it. You end up regretting it so tremendously, you be like, why did I do that? And that's why I know. That's why there's a lot of people that just say, all right, you know what, forget it. I'm going to just block everybody. But you do not want to block the right people. You don't. You don't want to do that to yourself, because you hurt. You're going to hurt yourself so bad blocking the right people and making yourself be lonely. And for what? For what? Why you gotta force yourself to be lonely? You ain't gotta force yourself to be lonely. Just make sure that you pick the right people. Be mindful. Be smart. Be calculated. Move a little slow. That's okay. Don't move too slow though, because you move too slow, and if it's the right person and you're moving too slow, you might lose that person. You don't want to lose them. So you can take your time, but don't take your time too much, where you end up losing a good thing and then you're mad because now I done moved too slow. Move a nice flow, so you're not too slow, but you're not too quick, and you got time to really register in your head what you're doing and take your time and do things right. Because if you take your time and do it right the first time, you ain't got to worry about doing it again, right? Now, mind you, mistakes is okay. It's all right to make mistakes. It's all right to mess up. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not trying to make y'all believe that it's something wrong with making mistakes. It's not. But I know from personal experiences, you don't want to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. You want to do the best that you can to make sure that if you had made that mistake already in the past, you do the best that you can not to make that mistake again. Because if you keep making mistakes, then it's not mistakes anymore, is it? Because you keep making them. Once you keep making them, now that's a lifestyle. That's a character trait now. Because you done did it too often. It's not a mistake no more. So y'all, be encouraged. I know it's a world full of people that don't want to encourage you, that would rather discourage you, that would rather keep you in a position where you feel like you need people. But you really don't. All you need is yourself and God. You might need support and stuff like that, but God can provide that. God can decide, you know what, now is the time that I'm going to make sure you get all the support that you need to get your businesses off the ground. I'm going to make sure you get all the support that you need to make sure that all of your platforms is flourishing and you're developing a huge audience that really appreciates you, really loves you, really appreciates your work and what you do, what you put out here, receives it well, and don't give you no negativity. That's important. So y'all, I'm trying to drag the video out while I'm doing my hair, because I do want to show the finished product of my hair. I do want to do that, and since it's not that much left anyway, I'm trying to drag it out. So if y'all wondering, like, it seemed like she was about to stop the video, but then it seemed like she kind of got right back into talking. Yeah, I did that on purpose, because I really would like to be able to show you guys the finished results of my hair. So, being as though I would like to show you guys that, that's why I'm dragging it out a little. But yeah, I hope you guys learn from these chat videos that I create, because like I said, even though I kind of on the low create them for myself too, and I said on the low, but I create them for y'all as well, because I know I'm not the only person in the world that has these kind of issues and complications and problems, and you know, I know I'm not the only person that goes through these things. So since I know I'm not the only person that goes through these things, that's why I decided, you know what, let me bring it to my tribe. What I'm thinking, why not, you know? So if you guys are wondering what I'm using, if you haven't seen any of my hair videos before, actually this is a new product anyway, but I'm about to be done with it. This is Keranique product, the Women's Hair Growth Experts Follicle Boosting Serum. So basically it's supposed to revitalize your follicles, strengthen your thickness, and enhance the texture of your hair and protects your hair. I've been using it for quite a while, quite some time, to help improve the healthiness, you know, and moisture in my hair, as well as to promote growth in my scalp and help my hair thicken back up, because my hair used to be super duper thick. Y'all think this is thick. This ain't nothing compared to how my hair used to be when I was a little girl. My hair used to be super thick and extremely long. And you know, life happened from doing my hair so much, brushing, combing my hair out, wearing weaves, getting a couple of perms in my lifetime and stuff. All of that, you know, being done to my hair. Thank God my hair is not damaged, because I know how to take care of my hair, you know, pretty good. But I know the difference in my hair now as opposed to like 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. And so because I know the difference, I recognize it, so I decided, you know what, I want to be able to get my hair back thick like it used to be, not just thick like it is now, because this is not really thick for me. But that's why I use that product. This is also a new product that y'all never seen me use E40 that is called Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen and Restore Leave-In Conditioner with shea butter, peppermint, and apple cider vinegar. It smooths and defines your hair, naturally chemically processed hair or heat styled hair. So it just helps you to have like a leave-in conditioner that's really good for your scalp. Keep your hair nice and shiny. As you can see, my hair is nice and shiny, and it's pretty strong too. Like, you know, I'm combing through it and everything, and it's nice and strong and shiny and everything. So I like to use this to keep my hair nice and conditioned all the time, because your hair can get dried out if you're not making sure that you put moisture back in your hair, or from washing your hair or sweating out and stuff like that. Your hair can definitely get very dry. But guys, it's now been almost 51 minutes, and I really don't feel like staying on camera to do the entire process of putting the mousse in my hair and fluffing my hair up again. And I need to see about getting started with the rest of my day as well. So if I get to come back to the camera and do another video later, then maybe you guys will see the final finished product with my hair, where my hair won't be so poofy, but instead it'll be real curly and silky and smooth and stuff. But until then, if I do another video today, you know, I'll see you guys next time. If you are a part of the Truth Tribe already, thank you very much for joining. And I know you're having a good time, because that's what we do. And if you're not a part of the Truth Tribe already, what are you waiting for? What you waiting for? Go ahead and press the subscribe button. Push the button. And connect with me next time I upload. See you guys next time.